Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another office hours, Rokoko office hours. Just making sure the audio isn't too loud. Let me know if there's any audio problems. Like to get them sorted in the beginning of these streams. But yeah, I'm Sam Lazarus, creative director for Rokoko. And if you don't know, office hours is a time when we just kind of hang out. We're here live. Usually we record some free mocap, which is what we're going to do today. And then we'll make something creative. And today, of course, we're going to focus on the perfect loop animation challenge that we have running. Hello, everyone in the chat. Good to see you. Pip, I saw your submission. Looks so awesome. The drumming and I think that was all the mocap that we recorded the other stream. But yeah, we're just going to record some mocap. Have some fun. If anyone has any questions or something they want to talk about, feel free to put it in the chat or mocap requests. I have a list here of some pending ones that were from the request type form. So we're going to go through those. Nice. That's awesome, Pip. Yeah, it looks great. Just the werewolf jamming on the keyboard and all that. Looks great. Good loop, too. Yeah, it was like it all looped. It was great. But yeah, so let me pull up actually before we jump into it. So there is still time to join. Yeah, I had to redo the hands. Yep, that'll happen. But yeah, there's still time to join the animation challenge. You can find information about it in the description below or on the Discord if you have questions. But 4 more days left. As you can see right here, or up in the corner over there. Some amazing judges, incredible prizes, 23 grand, over 23 grand in prizes. 2 categories, best render and best original concept, each of which have the first prize of a full performance capture bundle, so suit, gloves, face capture, and then a cash prize on top of that. So I'm really pumped about these prizes. I hope that if you haven't had time to work on a submission, you should go ahead and do it because, you could win something awesome. And it's great to challenge yourself. Hey, Bagheera. Morton Liu Kung Fu. Fighting to finish. Oh, man. Can't wait to see yours. I'm sure it'll be crazy and very well rendered. So, yeah, submit. It's fun. It's a great opportunity to challenge yourself and potentially have your work kind of removed by some of these amazing judges like Clint and Ren, Todd, Blankenship, William Foucher, Gavin Shapiro, the king of loops himself is going to be there, Michael, Peter, and then I'll be around as well. So it should be really great. Yeah, Pip, that's part of the fun, right? Is just seeing your submission seen by these people who are my heroes as well, right? I'm on Clint's stream every week as well, just like everyone else. So these people are so awesome and so amazing that they're willing to do this with us, and it's super cool. Love these judges. Okay, so we're just gonna get right to making some mocap, and then in the second half of the stream, I think we're going to take a peek at Gavin Shapiro's free loops that he released. So Cinema 4D centric again, but should be interesting and fun, and we can make a little something because he released a bunch of free mocap, free looping scenes on his website for Cinema 4D, but they're really cool the way he set it up with instances, so we'll take a peek at that. And then also I would just I'll also mention that for any Blender people, we've had a couple really great live streams recently with guests who are Blender people. So you can check the past live streams and they go through their workflows for how they do their retargeting, and just super useful stuff in there. Shutter Authority we had on the stream a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, and he went through his Mixamo control rig add-on workflow that he uses. And then we had Carson Reed, who does a lot of Destiny animation, and then we've had 2 really cool Houdini live streams the last 2 weeks with Alan Bowie and Smearballs, both of which were super interesting. And you can go and check out their workflows, and so I encourage you to do that if you're a Blender person or a Houdini person, because they're really cool workflows. Okay. Ooh, yes. Check the time zone you're in, Bagheera. I think it should... FAQ. Yeah, so it ends on June 13th at 4 p.m. Central European Time, I say CST, CET. So yeah, backdate that to whatever time zone you're in, because that matters for sure. Hey, Agent Kane, how you doing? Also, just as we get started, I will say make sure to double check the rules, especially the submission rules, because I think we've gotten a couple that have been either misnamed or are in the wrong frame rate, or in the wrong video format, or don't have a clay render, which is just a render without textures or with your name and the date in there, which is similar to how Clint does it. It's basically just so we can make sure that it came from you. So yeah, check the rules on submission. You know, you just want to make sure that's all buttoned up when you're actually submitting your file so that it can count. Cool. So let's jump into it. So I am actually running my Smart Suit. I'm running the Smart Suit Pro 2 today that is non-glove ready. So I have another battery for my gloves that's in the back of my suit here. And then I just ran the wires up through the sleeves of my suit, and I plug them into my gloves that way. So not using the glove ready version today. Thought I'd mix it up. But I'm just gonna throw my gloves on, my smart gloves. We're using Rokoko Studio Legacy as always. Rokoko Studio Beta is inching towards being ready for prime time, but it's not quite there yet. So I still recommend using Rokoko Studio Legacy for all your mocap recording needs. I'm just gonna plug in these gloves. We'll let it boot up. Gonna add, I already got my actor profile in, so I'm just gonna add my gloves and suit. Do my straight pose just to start. Okay, let's record some mocap. So again, if you have requests, put them in the chat, and we can get them going. I'm also just gonna turn off my background blur here, so you can see what I'm doing fully if I back away from the camera. I'm just gonna make myself a little bit bigger. Poker playing. Yeah, we did some poker card playing for the Carson Reed stream. So if you go to the mocap repository on Google Drive, the link for which I think is in the description below, there is some card playing stuff on there, but we can do some more. Mine Johansson, what is it? Give me those requests, we can get it done. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna get started on some of these other ones that we have in the request, that came in on the type form, because we have a little survey or a little request form you can fill out too, if it's not actually on the live stream. So, sitting on a couch, watching TV, clicking buttons on a TV remote. Easy to do. Let's just knock that out. And I'm gonna grab a little prop. I'm gonna use my phone for that. No, you can totally do it here, Agent Kane. And actually, we have a request form that you can find on the Discord as well. That takes it autofills a Excel spreadsheet that I have here. So you can do it that way. But because we're on stream and you're here, put it in the chat, and we'll just do it that way. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is just watching TV, clicking the remote. Easy. Let's do it. I'm gonna do my straight pose, which I always do. Okay, let's record. Boom. Pretty easy. TV watching, you know? Not that tough. Got a text. Check who that is. Kitten photos from my buddy. Not an emergency. Okay, so that's one. We'll take a look at that, and we'll do some maybe editing on here too. And if we run out of requests, getting knocked backwards into a fall and falling forward. We can definitely do that. We can do that. Yeah, we'll see if we put a hole in my wall. Let's do that next. This looks very TV watchy to me. And then we could do things like fix this foot drift using the filters. You know, it's very important to clean your mocap in Rokoko Studio. You can see how these feet are sliding. But if you want to fix that, I can turn on the IK, foot IK filter, hit process changes, and then maybe a drift fix filter. See if that will fix some of the drift there. You can just correct it a little bit. This might actually be a case for not using the foot IK. So it depends, you know, you never know. You want to just use the filters that'll give you the best result. He's drifting a little bit, bizarrely. So that might be a non-foot IK one. But anyway, let's keep cruising. Okay, let's do the getting knocked back into a wall right now. Let's do it. So I'm going to, so getting knocked back into a wall and falling forward. So like, is this like a shockwave? Is this like a gunshot? Is this like a punch? Gotta have my coffee if I'm gonna be doing stunts. I've always wanted to go to like a real stunt gym and do some stuff because I've never had mats. You're getting punched or kicked. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it and see how badly I hurt my knees. Okay, do my straight pose as always. This is a good one. I like this. We can do that again because it wasn't very dramatic, I think. Do a real flinging back into the wall. It might be I don't know, because I don't want to get hurt. Let's try it again. Straight pose. It's amazing how much less it takes to hurt me these days. It's like falling down on my knees makes me hurt. Okay. Hit my chair. Hold on. Let me delete that. Let's try that again. Oh, my poor knees. My poor knees. I need a pillow. Okay. Let's try it again. I don't know, something like that. Let's take a peek at it. So you just have to do some maybe creative editing. And like, you could keyframe, you know, between this, like going a further distance. You just hand key it. And then you're gonna have to mess with the hands a little bit on that sort of thing. Although I'm curious so we have this mode called Locomotion Legacy, which you can turn on, which in theory is calculating, yeah, hands too, but it doesn't do, it kind of does a wonky job. So that's always, I always do include the actual project files as well. So you can always load these into your Rokoko Studio Legacy by just dropping the save folder into your Rokoko Studio folder, and it will, you can open up the scene yourself, and then you can make tweaks or do stuff. Yeah, so yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, works. Let's keep moving. Idle look, we have a lot of idles. And also, I do want to point out, so I just recently, let me go to, so this is where all the mocap that we've created can be found. And we've actually made over 250 assets at this point. And so I used to just upload just these .zips, but now I have this this is all the FBX files in a row. So you can like search this folder, but you know, if you go to idle, you can find all these idles, you know, idle looking around too, idle pointing, idle watching something, you know. So we have we have all these things here, tons of different stuff, party idle, rapping, you know, robberies. We created a lot of assets, which I'm actually really proud of. Lots of Star Wars stuff. So this is a good spot to just go and see what we've made so far. It's under that free mocap FBX files folder. Okay, let's keep doing. Remember, put your requests in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep going through here. Horse raiding man motion. I think that's like somebody on a horse. I'm not sure what that means. So I guess we're not gonna do that. Playing the drums. Somebody requested, we have playing the drums. We did it for a stream a little while ago, so you can already find that in the mocap repository that I just went to. Moving while jumping over obstacles. I'm not going to do that because my office isn't that big. Some huge aggressive sword strikes, one of which is overhead, the other is a horizontal strike. Heavy momentum as the hero comes out of the run. So I'm not gonna do a run because again, I don't have that much space, but I can do some heavy cloud, Final Fantasy cloud-like oversized sword strikes, which could be fun. So let's do a couple of those. I'm gonna use my prop as always. So let's do a straight pose. And I'm just gonna extend, this guy out a little bit more. And let's do it. Okay. Not going to do horizontal ones because I'm kind of scared that I'm going to be hitting my computer. Let's check that out. This is kind of like, and of course you'd always have to fix the hands. Cool, that looks cool. That looks very anime, I think. That looks dope, actually. I really like that. I like the kind of overemphasized look to it. So that's cool. I'm not going to do horizontal ones again. Walking and entering a bed. We're not going to do that. Some of them I can't do all of them because we just aren't really set up to what I would, if I were to try to do it in this room, it wouldn't give you a result that was usable. So I generally don't do those. So not every request will get done. They kind of have to be within the realm of something that I can do quickly on a stream. And also that's going to like give you a result that works. I could try to do like getting into a bed, but I don't have a bed, so it's not really gonna look very good because working with props actually makes a huge difference when you're recording mocap. Okay, casually walk forward and throw a forceful punch with the right fist and hold there for a second and slowly walk back 2 steps to the starting pose and position. Casually walk forward 2 steps. Casually walk forward 2 steps. Okay, cool. I can do that. Let's do it. Casually walk forward 2 steps, throw a punch, my chin height. Let's do it. Gonna do my straight pose as always. Okay, let's record. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, and the instructions were to hold there for a second and then slowly walk backwards, which we need to do some mocap cleanup right here. Should look fine after we do a bit of cleanup. So that's done. Hammering hot metal. Use this YouTube video for reference. Let's check it out. After 141. Oh, this guy. Love this dude. Science guy. Okay, cool. Also, can you guys hear the music? Let me know in the chat if you would, because I do want there to be music on these streams. Okay, let's do that. We can definitely do that. I'm gonna use props again because it's always good to use props. What's gonna be my hammer? I need more PVC pipes in this room. Is what I'm wearing. I think my hammer is just going to be my phone. And yeah, should be fine. Okay, good. Thank you, Tweak. Hopefully the music isn't overpowering. Let me know if it is. Okay, let's do this. Straight pose it. Here's my phone hammer. And here's my piece of metal. Right here. Okay. So let's do it. Oh. Let's screw that up. Let's pause that. Delete this. Boom. Let's check it out. It's a tiny bit louder than me. Ooh. Audio down. Okay, hopefully that's better. Sweet, I think that's good. Hammering metal. Thank you, Tweak, for that. Okay, hello. I need animation. Okay, so I think this is from Lai, someone who I helped out on Discord. So I think we already recorded this next. Yeah. Okay, so we did that one. In free fall, back first, slightly moving arms and legs, lands on a soft surface, and then bounces back into free fall. This is tough. I can do some free fall, but then I don't know about the bouncing back into free fall, because it's just going to require some hand animation. But we can do some free fall stuff, and I have a pretty good method that I like to use for that. So let's do that. And we've already recorded some falling stuff in other streams, but it doesn't hurt to do more. Always do my straight pose. So you just have to hand animate, I think, the bouncing bit, and then also like the legs, which in Maya, you would hook this up to a control rig, which we have tutorials about, and then you would just slowly move the legs. It's kind of a bounce. So you're just gonna have to do some hand keying on something like that. Okay, let's keep moving. Sweeping the floors with a broom. That's a good one. We can definitely do that. And I have my broom prop right here that I can use. Okay, let's sweep some floors. Super important to use props for stuff like this because it'll always just make it so much better looking. That looked pretty good to me. And then you would just, if it were me, whichever arm, you would attach the broom to probably this hand maybe, and then you would just use an IK constraint on this wrist to attach it to that broom handle, because these hands aren't going to be perfect because that's inertial mocap. Okay, let's keep moving. Seated person playing a guitar in the classic position. I also have a short audio file. Hold on. Let's see what this one is. For the hand animation. Okay, so yeah, playing a guitar. Let's do it. Pip, does the software have scale transform controls for the bones? You can't do it in cleanup, but you can, when you're creating your actor profile, you can add custom bone measurements No, arm span 250. You can't go that high. Oh, maybe I need a name. Oh no, there. Yeah, there you go. These don't seem. Maybe you have to do it in order, but you should be able to edit these. Maybe there's ranges that you can't go to unrealistic places, but you could also do that sort of thing in post. You can't keyframe those, no. Maybe someday that would be something that we could do in beta, but in Legacy you can't mess with those. You can just do it at the beginning when you create your actor profile. Okay. Seated person playing the guitar. So, still using this prop. This is gonna be my guitar, which it would be better, obviously, with a real guitar. But I don't have a real guitar. So we're just gonna use this. And I think I know what they mean by the classic position with the legs crossed. So I'm gonna move this back to the front. Okay, let's do our calibration pose. And let's do it. Kind of rough. Let's take a look at that. That might be the only thing that we do on that. And you'd obviously have to fix a bunch of this stuff anyway, but you know, maybe that works. So we're gonna leave that there. Okay. Someone's sitting on a bench drinking coffee. They take off their sunglasses and open up their umbrella. Okay, cool. I think we can do that. Do I have sunglasses in here? I do. Okay, so let's do our T pose, or our calibration pose rather. So drinking coffee, and then what do? They take off their sunglasses and they open their umbrella. Cool. Yeah, let's do it. Kind of vibe. I think that's pretty good. And then one that's just a news person presenting or shuffling papers whilst sitting. We can definitely do that as well. And then the last one on... Oh, that looks pretty good. The last one on here is just like a range of motion test, which we can do as well. So let's do shuffling papers as a news talker. Anchor. Hopefully that's kind of the vibe that they were looking for. And then the last thing I want to do is I'm just going to record a bunch of goofy dances because that's kind of what I want to play with for the perfect loop submission. Yeah, so you'd have to do some editing on the hands to make sure they're in the right place, but that should work for that. So now we'll just do a range of motion test. Let's do a straight pose. Okay, range of motion test, here we go. Boom. I think that will do the trick for that. And now we're just going to do a bunch of silly dances. That should be great. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is a bunch of silly dances that are all in one take. Because for this perfect loop, what we can do for this looping project file that we're going to use in Cinema 4D, I don't need the takes to actually loop. I just need them to last for a certain amount of time, I think. And so I'm going to do a really long kind of take of silly dances, and then I'm just going to retarget it to one character and just move which part of the animation each character is playing, and we'll have a bunch of different characters at the end of that. So let's record some silly dances. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so you'll see how the loop kind of works. But it's interesting. We'll see if this works or not, and maybe we'll go and cut out custom loops for it. Cool, so unless anyone has any last requests, I'm going to take the suit off, and then we're going to get into Cinema 4D and take a look at these project files. But, you know, you can always come back and request more mocap next week. But for the perfect loop submission, this is your last chance. Oh, that's a good one too. Let me record that while we're waiting. I love how the smart suit does pick up your hip movement, which is always fun. Mine Johansson, what was your... Oh, maybe did you put it in... What was your request? Would you mind reminding me? Oh, I didn't see that. I'm so sorry. Did you send it in the chat? Oh, I don't think it showed up in the chat. YouTube link in the form. What... Is this it? Kind of thing? Was this it? Let me know if this is it, and we'll do that right now. Because we can definitely do that. I'm gonna assume that is, so let's do it. Okay, let me lower my keyboard here. Okay, just looking at the reference. Let me watch it again. Okay. Floppa, no, it's not that one. Oh, it's not mine, Johansson. Okay. Oh, maybe it's this one, sorry. Is it like waking up and looking at your hands? And then getting up? And then like screaming at the sky? Oh yes, mine Johansson, that's you. Okay, so yes, let's do that. Yes, we can definitely do that. Okay, so waking up, looking at hands, and then a separate one, I think, that is like, or is it, do you want it all to be one take? Or is it two? Okay, let me know. And actually, I'm gonna do this typing separate takes. Okay, cool. So let's do it. Let's do it. Hold on. Okay. So that was the first bit. Let me know how that looks. And the reason I keep my legs, you're just gonna have to straighten the legs in post. Rokoko just works off foot contact with the ground, so the character just stays like in the same position better when the legs are like that. So you can just straighten these, you know, in post, and it should be fine. Let me do that again, because it looked like the thumb was doing some weird stuff. Okay, wake up, looking around, looking at hands. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so hopefully that was the vibe. And you might just need to correct some of that wrist position. But that's pretty good, I think. Okay, now we'll do the second one, which is holding the head and then like exploding with power. No, just like yelling at the sky. Cool, perfect, okay, great. Okay. And yeah, as always, gonna have to do some hand fixing because the hands aren't gonna be in the right place. Let me try that one more time. Yeah. Hey Origin, how you doing? Back at it, making some sweet mocap. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is actually this typing one that came in as a video request too. Okay, yeah, let's do that as well. Straight pose. Okay. So that, with editing, you could get to a loopable place, and you just kind of have to do that one manually. Yeah, there we go. Great. Yeah, diving, entertainment. So diving, we can try, but I can't dive. Obviously, I don't have mats. So diving is going to have to be something that is done by hand. Some of them I don't do. Some of these requests because I can't really do them very well. And diving is definitely something that's difficult, but we can try, and I can dive up, and then you could maybe edit the mocap. A person standing on a plank, he dives, and he lands and stands up in the same standing position. So, yeah, I can do something, but it probably won't be what you're looking for. Let me do this. Kind of dive-ish. Lay on my back, watching out for battery, and flail your arms and legs as if you were falling. Yeah, and we did that a little bit earlier in the stream, Origin. The way that I normally, and we have, there you go. So you're gonna have to take it from there. Whee! I'm not going to do that, Pip, but it's something that you could do by hand. So yeah, what I normally do for falling is like, because Rokoko needs foot contact with the ground, swimming on the floor. Sure, hold on 1 second. Give me a sec. Be right back. Okay, let's try swimming. I don't know, it probably won't be perfect, but let's see where we go. Swimming. Okay. You only do a straight pose. Okay, we'll see what happens here on the on my mannequin. It might float away, but then you just use treadmill filter for that. So. Oh. Whew. Yeah, so character drifted away, but then if we open it up, we'll just turn on treadmill. kind of swimmy. Yeah, that was good. And so what you would do is you would just lock the Y position of the hips to keep this bouncing from happening. And I think that's probably the best way to do that. Yeah, and then for falling, right, what I was saying was what I normally do, and we recorded one of these earlier, is something like this. I can do it on here too. But you just keep your feet on the ground so that my character doesn't float away. I mean, I guess I can... You can use treadmill filter as well. You can do it this way too. Let's record a falling one. So it's gonna give you pretty funky results, but then you just gotta turn on treadmill. Because it doesn't like it when its feet, it can't tell when the feet are in contact with the ground, right? Yeah, and you got this weird y-axis because it's hitting the ground plane. But you just turn off the hip animation and throw a vibrate tag on there or something, you know, and yeah, so these will be up on the, there's actually a link up in the chat, but this is, you can find it in the description, but this is where we keep all the mocap that has been made on the live streams. So you can find, you'll be able to find it there probably tomorrow. It usually takes me a second to just go through and edit it and make sure it's the best looking that I can. And there'll be the FBXs and then also the actual Rokoko Studio project file. So you can download the project file and then you can load it into, you know, you can download Rokoko Studio for free. You just load the project file into the folder that where Rokoko Studio lives, and then you can get in and make tweaks and do edits yourself. Yeah, Sverige, sorry if I'm butchering that, I'm sure I am. A force choke, sure. Force choke, holding your neck. Let's do both. Let's do both. We'll do Vader and we'll do Vader's victim. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's do a straight pose. So we'll do Vader first. You might just need to tweak some of that. You know, it looked like the hand was a little bit off. So that's Vader. Now Vader's victim. Do a calibration pose. And this is definitely going to be something where you need to edit the mocap because my hands won't be, they'll be intersecting, or, you know, you'll get some weird results like that. But let's try it. That kind of thing? That's a good one. I've never done the victim before. And yeah, so this is just something where you're going to have to edit it. And then, you know, you just maybe edit the legs a little bit. Ooh, God, snap that neck. Done. Nice. Okay, so I think that's what we're gonna call it. Let's make some loops. So I'm gonna turn off my camera as I always do. Let's record this guy. Taking off the suit is always kind of fun. So I'm going to actually unplug my gloves. So gloves are now unplugged. Take off the gloves, and then this is always interesting. I will unzip my suit. Whoop. Let's record. I want to do something interesting with that stuff eventually one day. Okay, stop recording. Yeah. Oof. Give me 1 sec while I get this guy off. Boom. Put some pants back on. Yeah, it does look painful. Poor little Newton. Okay. There we go. Boom. Nice. Okay, so let's get into actually making a little something now. So yeah, I'm gonna try and take, let's open up, actually I'm gonna open up this project file first so you can kind of see these things. And actually let me go to Gavin Shapiro. So this is, unfortunately, this is very Cinema 4D, as it always is kind of based for me, because that's my specialty. But if you go to gavinshapiro.com, he has these free project files, and there's all these loops that he's made and released as free project files that are really cool. And I'm sure you could recreate these in other programs. I'm not exactly sure how, but super interesting. The way that he's done it is just with instances. So he basically has a camera move and then he adds a new instance, and that means that it doesn't necessarily need to be perfectly looped, the motion. It just needs to be long enough for the instance to reset. So if we open up, let's open up Cinema. I'm gonna open up, what did I call these? Gavin Shapiro loops. So here, this is a really cool one, scale-based loop. Cinema's just opening. What are you doing, Cinema? There we go. Sure, I think it's just gavinshapiro.com. But this is, oh, don't want to create a poll. There we go. So I think that should be the site. And then let's open up the project, scale-based loop. So as you can see, what he just has these instances, and what you can do is, like, let's just add a figure, right? And let's put him here, and here, and here, and here. And if we put all these under the scene, edit in here, now we've got all these loops. And see, this is even the beginning. You know, you can see that foot right there. So this is really cool, obviously. These are some incredible loops, and it just goes endlessly, right? That was the loop right there. So very clever way to do a loop. I mean, he's the master of loops. And so, yeah, this is really cool, because what you can do, you know, is you can just like go and start adding, you know, interesting little things. You know, basketball, hoop. You know. Oh, right. You got to actually add it to the little folder. Once you do, super interesting, right? And you can even see what these are doing in real time. So like if I wanted to say, have us go through the hoop, I don't know. There's just, you can get really crazy with it, right? So it's pretty interesting. So that's what I kind of want to play around with, adding some of these dancing characters to one of these scenes and see if we can make something cool. Yeah, let's do it. So what, I don't know what character I want to use for this, but I do want to use this fun, where are those dances that we were doing? Super long dances. And to see if we can make something kind of fun. Yeah. Okay, so let's I'm gonna turn on foot IK for this, and I'm also gonna do drift fix because this is a very long take, and it's always, you know, for longer takes you always want to check the drift. The drift seems like it was fine on this one, so don't really need to do anything. I'll make a slight adjustment. As soon as we turn on foot IK, we should get less of this foot sliding that we're seeing. It's going to take a little bit longer to process changes on these because it's such a long take. I mean, 80 seconds isn't crazy long, but it's usually I try and keep my mocap takes to under a minute because it's just easier. But yeah, there we go. Feet not sliding. Looking good. So I'm going to export this out. I'm going to call this silly dance long take. And I'm going to export this. I'm going to do it at 100 frames a second because I always leave it at 100 frames a second because it doesn't really make a big difference to me. And then I'm going to go into Maya to do my retargeting because I always do my retargeting in Maya. I think it's the best way to do retargeting, Maya and Blender. Maya probably on top. Blender great though because there's such a huge community of people that are making add-ons and interesting things to make your life easier. Maya is pretty opaque and scary and intimidating, so that's why I don't think Maya is a clear winner, because Maya is also riddled with problems. But it, you know, because they've been the main animation software for the past 40 years, they have a lot of good tricks for animating and working with mocap, especially after they made the acquisition in like the early 2000s of the Human IK system, which is now called Maya Human IK. And then I have this little Pikachu character that I think I'm going to use. So let's load in that Pikachu character. And where do I have it? Pika dancing. Okay, so I gotta go open up that scene. go find my Pikachu character. And the way that I do it is I always save out a pre-rigged setup Maya scene that allows me to, the character is already defined and all I need to do is add the mocap. So Pikachu rigged. Not today, Entertainment. If there's something you really need, you can feel free to DM me on our Discord, and I can see if I can record it either today or tomorrow. But no, not doing any more mocap today. Once that suit comes off, it's off. Although it's pretty easy to get back in it, but I'm hot. Is the Maya scene available? You mean this one? Spherage? This one is not, because this was the model that I bought. Although we could go and just do a Mixamo model, and that scene I could give out for free. We could do that. Let's see. Discord ID is the Jabberwock_Rokoko. It's under the MVP on the Rokoko Discord. So let's see what characters we got here. There's a fun... Ooh, okay. This mouse character is pretty cute, actually. Oh my god. Bizarre. Bizarre character, kind of. We got Elvis. That's pretty cute. We could use the Elvis guy. The wrestler could be fun. Look at this guy. Whoa. Now let's do the wrestler. Can you mix animations? You can definitely use Mixamo animations. You can use Mixamo data, but it needs to be, you know, the Rokoko, the way that we've done it is, the Rokoko mocap, part of it can't be just thrown into the background and like have no impact on the scene at all. There has to be a real measurable impact that you're losing if you were to remove the Rokoko mocap. So if, for example, you know, it just, you have to, you know, the Rokoko mocap has to really be a part of the scene. If you also want to use Mixamo mocap for another character or something, that's fine. You know, that is okay. But the Rokoko mocap has to have a real measurable impact on your scene, so much so that if you were to remove the mocap, the scene would be fundamentally like different, and would really make a big, you know, difference if you removed it. So that's kind of how, I hope that explains it. I wouldn't mix Rokoko and Mixamo like mocap in a single character, because we do need to be able to identify like what mocap you used when we're picking the winners and verifying that people used Rokoko. So I wouldn't like blend Rokoko and Mixamo mocap. If you want to use Mixamo for background characters or something, that's fine. Sure, exactly. Yeah, it's just the Rokoko mocap has to have a measurable, you know, impact on your scene. That's kind of the rule that we've gone with. Hopefully that works. Okay, so I'm actually going to use this Pikachu because I like this Pikachu and I want to keep using it. Nice, Entertainment Jerk. Yeah, let me know. Hit me up on the old Discord and I'll do what I can. Right, no promises, because I'm actually So if you let me know today, I'm actually off for the weekend. I'm out of state, so Sod, I might be able to do that later today. But you might also be able to find something on the motion library for something like that. Yeah, the Rokoko marketplace. Gait of a warrior wounded in the right chest and walking and restart fighting again. Loop the gait of a... Yeah. So I checked the motion library, and I might be able to get to that later this afternoon. But we'll see. No promises. Sorry. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Okay. So let's load in this mocap. So I'm going to go to free mocap 13, and we got this silly dance long take. So I'll import this, and it's going to come in at a bizarre size, but that's okay. It won't affect the retargeting process. And what I need to do is create a new character definition, and we have tutorials about all of this stuff. I'm just going to move these guys down here. Tutorials about how to do all this if I'm going to be moving a little too fast, but how to characterize a character in Maya. But you just create a new character definition. Then I'm going to select the hip bone of my mocap, and I'm going to load in this Maya Human IK preset, and it will automatically characterize it. And now if I just go character 1, which is my Pikachu, and character 2, which is my mocap. Here we go. We got some fun dancing happening. Cool. Sorry, entertainment. I'll be back on Sunday, but that might be too late. Boom. Okay, so now I'm just going to... I don't think I'm going to do any yeah, I'm going to bake it to a control rig just so I can fix that clipping. So I'm going to bake to control rig, and then this will give us an IK control rig we'll be able to edit. So that'll be a lot cleaner. And then, yeah, we'll just build like a simple looping scene, I think. Let's look at some Gavin Shapiro loops just to get inspired. I think it's Gavin Shapiro 3000. Gavin Shapiro 500. The master of loops. God. So freaking crazy. Ugh, it like hurts my head looking at this. What else is another? That was the pool one. These are so great. God, he's so talented. What an amazing creator. What the heck is this? Oh, it's a zoetrope. Oh my God, what a trip. Oh, it hurts my head. Don't know how he does some of this stuff. So this is like kind of a simple one. So maybe we'll just do something like this. Yeah, we'll see. We'll play around. Let's see. Okay, so this is done. So now I just need to delete my mocap. And now I've got these IK handles that I can edit and move around. So for this clipping, for instance, that's happening. think I just need to move this hand like out slightly. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just, if we go to the animation layers here and I add this upper arm to a new animation layer, and again, we have tutorials about all of this if you're curious and you want to go deeper, just search Maya editing on the channel. So I add a keyframe there to make the arm go up a little bit more. I'm going to do the same thing on a new animation layer for the right arm, add a keyframe, and now so I just want to get rid of this too. This is so small, but I might as well. Looking good. Okay, so now I want to export this out. Sod, I might be able to do that later, but no guarantees. I'm sorry. But let me try to hop in. Hop back into the suit later. Can you loop the walking gait of a warrior wounded in the right chest and a little later restart fighting? Even if I am able to do that, you're gonna have to do quite a bit of editing on it in post because it just won't loop perfectly out of Rokoko Studio. So I mean, I can loop it, but the hands might be funky. What type of fighting as well? Let me know. Is it fist fighting? Is it sword fighting? Wounded in the right chest. So kind of like wounded. Okay, so let me export this out. Export all. I'm going to export it to office hours. Raw dancing Pikachu. And we're not going to use this loop. We're going to do I think it's rotational base loop. 360 frames. So we'll see. I'm not positive if this will work or not. I'm pretty sure that it will, though. And sword in the right hand, right, Sod? Let me just add a little HDRI to this guy. Boom. Yeah, and so sometimes with light, you need to kind of blend them. So let me actually, I want to keyframe. So, okay. So the light is like right here. Let's see if I can. Keyframe this. So that looks pretty good. Just keyframe the light around. Cool. Okay, so let me add in my Pikachu. Projects. Here we go, Pika Pika. And I'm just gonna add my Pika to a null. There's my little Pika. I'm gonna make him bigger. That's too big. Okay, I just want to put it right up. Pause Octane there. And then I'm going to add a motion clip, and I'm basically just gonna be able to move like what part of the animation is playing for each character. So I add a motion clip. It should add this little tag right here. I'm gonna save this project as well. Rotation-based loop. Pika Pika. And if we open up this animation clip, now I can, here's a Pika. Like if I move this, it'll change what part of the clip is playing. So let's put it there. Interesting. You know, so we're not actually going to do this one. We're going to do something simpler. We're going to do this position-based loop. So this one, it's interesting. I haven't played around with these a ton, but I want to see if I can add it. Maybe it does have to loop perfectly, in which case I'd have to go back into Rokoko Studio and like make an actual loop. I'm just curious if you can do it this way, because I'd much rather not do that. Can't move my Pika for some reason. Pika is locked. Sometimes the take manager has a lock on it. Nope, that wasn't it. Maybe it's the, oh, no, that was it. Oh, it's just laggy. I'm just lagging. Quit out of Maya. Make my Pika a little bit bigger. Okay, let's try this. Oh, laggy. I don't know why. Why is it? Oh, it's just, I think it's just a really big, there's a lot of keyframes to move around. Interesting. So maybe what I'd have to do is like move this one . What if I copy this one? I'm just figuring this out in real time, baby. So these might need to be perfectly looping? I'm not entirely sure. Which isn't very helpful. What if I put one there? Oh God, I didn't put it under the thing. Okay. Sorry. I gotta put it under the whole scene. Okay, what happens now? I think that's what happened in the rotation one too. So it does have to loop every 360 frames. But you could also get around this with some clever just compositing, I think. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm not sure how this would work. So we might actually just leave it there. I might actually jump back into the suit and record some of these requests that have been from Sod. And, you know, yeah, I hopefully, yeah, I'm going to go and edit this mocap and I'll put it online this afternoon. Good luck for the rest of the Perfect Loop, you know, animation challenge timeline. There's still time to submit. I hope that you do, because it's a lot of fun to work on something with a specific goal, and I always find it super useful in Clint's streams and everything. And, you know, I think we're just gonna kind of call it there. I'm gonna go and try and figure out this looping deal, and if I find the answer, I'll post it somewhere, maybe on the Discord or something. But super interesting project files, especially cool that he gave them out for free, and would be super interesting to use for your Perfect Loop submission, I think. Let me add an HDRI to this. I just want to see what this scene looks like. Oh. Boom. Super interesting. Yes. It will be. It will be on the Google Drive. Exactly. Beer pizza animation sounds great, Origin. Yes, good luck. And yeah, Agent Kane, it will be up. I'm going to edit it right now and throw it up. So it should all be up there, you know, in the next couple hours. Okay, I think we're going to call it right there. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Another great office hours, and you know, it'll be fun next month when we go through the submissions and get our judging session going, and I can't wait to go through and see what everyone's submitting. So good luck. You still have 4 more days, and can't wait to see it. Okay, signing off. See you, everyone.